Imagine a conflict so legendary that its echoes resonate through millennia, intertwining myth and history in a tapestry of heroism, deception, and divine intervention. This is the story of the Trojan War, a saga immortalized by Homer and revisited by countless scholars, historians, and artists. But beyond the epic verses of the Iliad lies a realm of intriguing curiosities and profound mysteries. Today we delve into the heart of this ancient conflict, uncovering archaeological clues, exploring the lives of iconic characters, and unraveling the myths that shaped one of the greatest stories ever told. Evidences of the Trojan War. The legend of the Trojan War has fascinated historians, archaeologists, and enthusiasts for centuries. Initially, many believed the war to be purely mythical, a grand tale spun by poets like Homer to convey timeless themes of heroism, betrayal, and divine will. However, the search for tangible evidence of this epic conflict took a significant turn in the late 19th century, with the ambitious endeavors of Heinrich Schliemann. Schliemann, an amateur archaeologist with a passion for Homeric epics, set out to prove that Troy was not just a figment of imagination, but a real city with a real history. His excavations at Hisarlik, in what is now Turkey, uncovered the remains of a city that bore striking resemblances to the descriptions found in ancient texts. Schliemann's work revealed a series of superimposed settlements, indicating that the site had been inhabited for thousands of years, with layers of destruction that could potentially correspond to the legendary siege of Troy. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence is the discovery of massive walls and fortifications, which suggest a city prepared for prolonged conflict. The ruins include a substantial citadel and towers, indicative of a significant urban center that would have been a plausible target for the kind of epic siege described by Homer. These structures date back to the Late Bronze Age, roughly aligning with the traditional timeline of the Trojan War, around the 12th century BCE. Moreover, archaeologists have unearthed artifacts that paint a picture of a prosperous and strategically important city. Pottery, tools, weapons, and inscriptions found at the site indicate a vibrant culture with extensive trade connections. Among these finds, the so-called Priam's treasure stands out, a collection of gold, silver, and bronze objects that Schliemann attributed to the Trojan king mentioned in the Iliad. Although the attribution is debated, the treasure highlights the wealth and sophistication of the inhabitants. Further investigations by subsequent archaeologists, including Wilhelm Dörpfeld and Manfred Korfmann, have added layers of understanding to Schliemann's initial discoveries. Korfmann's work in the late 20th century, for instance, used advanced technologies like ground-penetrating radar and detailed stratigraphic analysis to provide a clearer picture of the ancient city's layout and its changes over time. His findings suggest that Troy had a lower city surrounding the citadel, which would have housed a larger population and could have been the scene of significant warfare. While the exact details of the Trojan War as depicted by Homer might remain a blend of myth and historical events, the evidence from Hisarlik supports the existence of a significant city that faced numerous attacks and periods of destruction. The archaeological layers correspond to a timeline that could feasibly match the era of the war, and the physical remnants of fortifications and artifacts suggest a city worthy of the legends. In conclusion, while definitive proof of every aspect of the Trojan War remains elusive, the archaeological evidence at Hisarlik provides a strong foundation for believing that the story has its roots in real events. The ruins of ancient Troy offer a tantalizing glimpse into a world where myth and history intertwine, leaving us with more questions than answers, but also a deep appreciation for the enduring power of this ancient tale. Famous characters and their stories. The Trojan War is not just a tale of grand battles and strategic sieges. It is a rich tapestry of human emotions and legendary figures whose stories have endured through the ages. These characters, each with their own distinct narratives, have come to symbolize various aspects of the human experience, from valor and honor to deceit and tragedy. Achilles. At the forefront of this epic is Achilles, often considered the greatest of all Greek warriors. His name is synonymous with heroism, yet his story is also one of profound vulnerability. According to myth, Achilles was the son of the mortal Peleus and the sea nymph Thetis. To make him invincible, Thetis dipped him in the river Styx, holding him by his heel, which remained his only weak point. Hence the term Achilles' heel. Achilles' prowess in battle was unmatched, but it was his personal journey, marked by rage and sorrow, that defines his character. His conflict with Agamemnon over the captive Briseis, his withdrawal from battle, and the subsequent death of his close friend Patroclus are central to his narrative. Achilles' eventual return to the battlefield and his fateful duel with Hector underscore the themes of glory and mortality that pervade the epic. Hector, the Trojan prince and the primary defender of Troy, stands as a foil to Achilles. He embodies the virtues of duty, family, and patriotism. As the eldest son of King Priam and Queen Hecuba, Hector was not only a warrior, but also a husband to Andromache and a father. His dedication to protecting his city and his people, even in the face of overwhelming odds, makes him a tragic hero. Hector's valor is highlighted in his many battles against the Greeks, but it is his final confrontation with Achilles that seals his fate and cements his legacy. Despite knowing his doom, Hector faces Achilles with courage, a moment that resonates with themes of honor and the inevitable nature of fate. Helen of Troy, whose abduction by Paris ignited the war, remains one of history's most enigmatic figures. Often described as the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen's role in the war has been depicted in various lights, both as a victim of divine manipulation and as a willing participant. In some versions, she is abducted by Paris, seduced by his charm and the influence of Aphrodite, who promised her to Paris as a reward for judging her the fairest goddess. In others, she leaves willingly, driven by a desire for love and adventure. Helen's character reflects the complexities of human emotions and the consequences of beauty and desire. Her presence in Troy and her interactions with both Trojans and Greeks add layers of intrigue and moral ambiguity to the narrative. Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, is known for his cunning and intelligence. His role in the Trojan War extends beyond his prowess in battle to his strategic mind, which ultimately brings about Troy's downfall through the infamous Trojan horse. Odysseus's ability to devise ingenious plans and his eloquence make him a vital asset to the Greek cause. His journey, however, does not end with the war. The Odyssey, which chronicles his long and arduous return home, explores his resilience, resourcefulness, and enduring desire to reunite with his family. Odysseus's story is a testament to the power of human will and the relentless pursuit of one's goals despite insurmountable obstacles. Priam, King Priam of Troy, an old and wise ruler, provides a poignant contrast to the youthful warriors around him. His deep love for his children and his sorrow over the war's devastation highlight the human cost of the conflict. One of the most touching moments in the Iliad is Priam's daring visit to Achilles' tent to beg for the body of his son, Hector. This act of humility and courage, driven by a father's grief, momentarily bridges the chasm of enmity and evokes a sense of shared humanity amidst the brutality of war. Agamemnon, the king of Mycenae and the leader of the Greek forces, is a figure of immense power and authority, but also of controversy and conflict. His decision to sacrifice his daughter Iphigenia to gain favorable winds for the Greek fleet set a dark tone for the expedition. Agamemnon's dispute with Achilles over the prize Briseis sparks a critical rift within the Greek camp, highlighting his flaws as a leader driven by pride and ambition. His story continues with his tragic return home, where he meets a grim fate at the hands of his wife Clytemnestra and her lover Aegisthus, underscoring the themes of vengeance and the tragic consequences of his actions. Paris, the Trojan prince whose judgment in favor of Aphrodite over Hera and Athena set the war in motion. is a character often viewed with mixed sentiments. His abduction or elopement with Helen is the immediate cause of the war, painting him as both a romantic figure and a catalyst for destruction. Despite his crucial role in triggering the conflict, Paris is depicted as less heroic in battle compared to his brother Hector. His eventual death, foretold by prophecy, adds another layer to the tragic narrative of the war. Aeneas, a Trojan hero and the son of the goddess Aphrodite and the mortal Anchises, stands out as a figure of resilience and destiny. After the fall of Troy, Aeneas's journey continues in Virgil's Aeneid, where he becomes the progenitor of the Roman people. His story bridges the gap between Greek and Roman mythology, highlighting themes of duty, piety, and the founding of new civilizations. Aeneas's survival and mission to establish a new homeland for the Trojans underscore the enduring legacy of Troy. These characters, each representing different facets of the human condition, bring depth and richness to the story of the Trojan War. Their tales of bravery, love, tragedy, and wisdom continue to resonate, offering timeless insights into the complexities of human nature. The role of mythology in the war. The Trojan War is as much a tale of divine intervention and mythical beings as it is of human heroics and tragedy. In the ancient Greek worldview, gods and goddesses were intimately involved in the affairs of mortals, and the Trojan War is perhaps the quintessential example of this belief. Mythology weaves through every aspect of the conflict, from its inception to its tragic conclusion, showcasing the interplay between the divine and human realms. The judgment of Paris. The origins of the Trojan War are deeply rooted in mythology, beginning with the fateful judgment of Paris. The story goes that Eris, the goddess of discord, was not invited to the wedding of Peleus and Thetis. In revenge, she tossed a golden apple inscribed with "To the fairest among the goddesses." The claim to the apple was contested by Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. To resolve the dispute, Zeus appointed Paris, the prince of Troy, as the judge. Each goddess offered Paris a tempting bribe. Hera promised power, Athena offered wisdom and victory in battle, and Aphrodite pledged the love of the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen. Paris awarded the apple to Aphrodite, setting the stage for the war by abducting Helen from her husband, Menelaus, king of Sparta. Divine interventions. Throughout the Iliad and other epic narratives, the gods play crucial roles, directly influencing the events of the war. Zeus, the king of the gods, attempts to maintain a balance, though he often intervenes in favor of different sides. Hera, his wife, is fiercely opposed to the Trojans and supports the Greeks, driven by her anger over Paris's judgment. Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war, also aids the Greeks, providing counsel and assistance to their warriors. On the Trojan side, Aphrodite supports Paris and often intervenes to protect him, demonstrating her favoritism stemming from his judgment. Apollo, the god of prophecy and plague, is another major divine ally of the Trojans, sending plagues upon the Greek camp and guiding their arrows. The gods' interventions are not limited to grand gestures. They often take on human forms to deceive and manipulate mortals. For instance, Apollo disguises himself to help Hector and confound the Greeks, while Athena takes on various guises to bolster Greek morale and strategy. The shield of Achilles. One of the most famous instances of divine craftsmanship in the Trojan War is the shield of Achilles. Forged by Hephaestus, the god of blacksmiths, at the behest of Thetis, the shield is a marvel of divine artistry. It depicts a microcosm of the world, with scenes of peace and war, city life and rural tranquility, all encompassed within its borders. This shield symbolizes the broader world beyond the war, reminding readers of the richness and complexity of human life. It also serves as a testament to the gods' involvement in the lives of heroes, providing them with supernatural tools and protection. The fall of Troy and the wooden horse. The most iconic element of the Trojan War's mythology is the stratagem of the Trojan horse, attributed to Odysseus's cunning. According to legend, the Greeks constructed a massive wooden horse, hollowed out to conceal a select force of warriors. Pretending to abandon the siege, the Greeks left the horse as an offering to Athena and sailed away to the nearby island of Tenedos. The Trojans, believing they had won, brought the horse into their city as a trophy. Under cover of night, the Greek warriors emerged from the horse, opened the gates for their returning army, and thus Troy fell. This tale of deception and ingenuity underscores the themes of fate and the gods' indirect influence, as it was Athena who inspired the idea in Odysseus's mind. The wrath of the gods and the aftermath. The aftermath of the Trojan War also reflects the gods' continued influence. The journey of the Greek heroes back home, especially Odysseus, is fraught with divine challenges and retributions. Poseidon, angered by the Greeks' desecration of his temples and their arrogance, curses Odysseus to a long and arduous journey home. This post-war saga, as detailed in the Odyssey, highlights the enduring presence of the gods in the lives of mortals, shaping their destinies and teaching lessons of humility and respect for divine power. Symbolic interpretations. The mythological aspects of the Trojan War also serve symbolic purposes, reflecting the values and beliefs of ancient Greek society. The involvement of gods in mortal affairs illustrates the Greeks' view of a universe where human actions and divine will are intertwined. The divine characters embody various human traits: wisdom, beauty, power, jealousy, and their interactions with mortals provide a means to explore these qualities in the context of epic narratives. In conclusion, the role of mythology in the Trojan War is not just a backdrop, but a fundamental element that enriches the story. The interplay between gods and humans, the divine machinations, and the supernatural elements all contribute to the timeless appeal of this epic. By blending myth and reality, the Trojan War narrative offers profound insights into ancient Greek culture, religion, and the human condition. The consequences of the war in Greek history. The Trojan War, whether viewed through the lens of myth or as a reflection of historical events, had profound and far-reaching consequences for Greek history and culture. Its impact reverberated through the centuries, influencing literature, politics, and societal values in myriad ways. One of the most significant consequences is its enduring legacy in Greek literature. The war provided rich material for epic poetry, with Homer's Iliad and Odyssey being the most prominent examples. These epics not only preserved the memory of the war, but also shaped the Greek literary tradition, introducing themes of heroism, honor, fate, and divine intervention that became central to Greek culture. The stories of Achilles, Hector, Odysseus, and other heroes were told and retold, serving as moral and educational tales for generations of Greeks. This literary legacy extended beyond epics to include tragedies by playwrights such as Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides, who explored the human dimensions of the war and its aftermath. Politically and socially, the Trojan War fostered a sense of Greek unity and identity. The concept of a pan-Hellenic expedition against a common enemy, as depicted in the war, suggested that the various Greek city-states could come together for a common cause. This notion of unity resonated during the Persian Wars in the 5th century BCE, when the Greek city-states allied against a formidable foreign invader. The portrayal of heroism and valor in the war emphasized personal honor, bravery, and loyalty, which were integral to the Greek concept of arete, or excellence. The search for historical truth behind the Trojan War has driven archaeological efforts, notably Heinrich Schliemann's excavations at Hisarlik, believed to be the site of ancient Troy. His discoveries, along with those of subsequent archaeologists, provided tangible links to the stories passed down through generations. While the exact nature of the conflict remains debated, the archaeological evidence suggests that a significant city existed at the site, with layers of destruction that could correspond to the war's timeline. These findings have deepened our understanding of the Late Bronze Age in the Aegean region and the complex interactions between different cultures. The Trojan War also served as a lens through which Greek philosophers and thinkers examined ethical and existential questions. The themes of fate, free will, and human suffering, as depicted in the war, were explored by philosophers such as Plato and Aristotle. The concept of hubris, or excessive pride, and its consequences became central to Greek thought, with the fall of Troy serving as a cautionary tale about the dangers of arrogance and disrespecting the natural order. The Trojan War's legacy extended beyond ancient Greece, influencing later cultures and civilizations. The Romans, who traced their origins to the Trojan hero Aeneas, adopted and adapted the stories of the war. Virgil's Aeneid, written during the reign of Augustus, linked Roman history to the epic tradition of Homer, establishing a cultural continuity that underscored Rome's connection to the ancient world. In medieval and Renaissance Europe, the Trojan War continued to inspire literary and artistic works, demonstrating the timeless appeal of its narrative. In conclusion, the consequences of the Trojan War for Greek history are manifold, encompassing cultural, political, and intellectual dimensions. Its stories have shaped Western literature and thought, providing a rich tapestry of human experience that continues to resonate today. The war's enduring legacy serves as a testament to the power of myth and history in shaping our understanding of the past and its influence on the present. The Trojan War remains a powerful blend of myth and history, offering timeless lessons and captivating stories that have shaped literature, culture, and our understanding of the ancient world. Its legacy, from archaeological discoveries to enduring narratives of heroism and tragedy, continues to resonate, reminding us of the enduring power of these ancient tales and their relevance to our own lives. As we explore these stories, we connect with the past and reflect on the universal themes that bind us across time.